Hello and welcome to the program. The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has directed applicants of the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme to submit their National Identification Numbers (NIN) as part of the necessary requirements to obtain a grant and marked to cushion the effect that recent economic reforms have had on businesses in the country. Trade Minister Doris Aniete issued the new directive in a post on her official X handle on Sunday. According to her, the new rule was based on the new regulations from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), directing Nigerians to link their national identification numbers with their bank accounts. The government, through the Bank of Industry, had said it would be disbursing 3 categories of funding totaling 200 billion naira to support manufacturers and businesses across the country. Global equity market capitalization increased by 13% to over 13 trillion naira in 2023. That's according to a report from the World Federation of Exchanges. The report, that's the 2023 market highlights, was recently released by the global exchange body. It indicated that despite the growth of global market capitalization, trading value and volumes declined to 10.6% and 3.4% respectively in 2023, with all regions recording their lowest annual trading value in the last 3 years. The Nigerian equity market defied the global trend as its market capitalization appreciated by 46.6% or 13 trillion naira last year. We'll take a break here now. Company news is up next. Welcome back. Telecommunications giant MTN has announced plans to invest an additional $1.8 billion to boost its data and fintech services offerings across Africa this year. This comes as the group's active fintech users rose to 72.5 million at the end of 2023. Now, the group's active data subscribers increased also by more than 9% to 150 million. That's half of the total subscriber base. MTN's 2023 audited financial result released recently shows that the volume of fintech transactions increased by around a third to 17.6 billion, with the value of transactions across the fintech platforms up by $272 billion. Now, the company says the growth was driven by advanced services in payments, bank tech, and remittance solutions. Still on company news, automobile manufacturer Nissan says it is targeting a 13% reduction in manufacturing costs for its electric vehicles, aiming to enhance affordability without compromising profitability. Nissan released a business plan addressing how a car maker of its size, with annual sales of fewer than 4 million vehicles, would finance the costs of new technology development and survive the transition to electric cars. The strategy aims to lift annual sales by 1 million units by the end of its fiscal year in 2026. Now, according to the report, the group will maintain its long-term alliance with Renault and Mitsubishi Motors in certain markets such as Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. We'll take another short break. When Money Matters returns, we'll discuss the effects of rising costs of farmlands on agribusiness in Nigeria. Stay with us. Welcome back. The agricultural sector remains the largest employer in Nigeria, employing more than 36% of the labor force and accounting for 22.35% of gross domestic product GDP in Q1 2021. However, the cost of farmlands is rising, limiting the potential of the country's agribusiness and food security. Prices have risen by almost 400% in major production belts, forcing many farmers out of market. Recently, the average value of farmland has increased to 5%, while the total acreage area for sale is in the range of 50 acres and above. In some states, in Ogun and Oyo states, farmers are looking for cheaper land, but the prices are becoming unaffordable as developers are turning these lands into residential areas. The value of farmland in such places now exceeds 2.5 million naira. Recent reports reveal that. Now, this comes as the sector struggles with increasing bandit attacks on farms in the north and south, leading many to question how food supplies can be maintained. Now, let's discuss this further. I'm now being joined by agro entrepreneur Shofumade Morumfade. Thank you for your time, Shofumade. Now, as a farmer in Nigeria, I know you are faced with many challenges. So how would you rate the nation's agricultural sector?
Based on what I know, I can talk much about crop plantation. So that is crop production, popularly crop production. And I would say so far, as far as it seems to me, I think I would use the word business. And, I would say it's a very lucrative business, and it's what all you should do, or I say must do. Because when I was growing up, my father used to be a farmer, and I never saw it as something working it. So just want to be the guy, have that education, the BSc, the whatever. I'm not saying farmer cannot have the BSc, but I'm just saying what we're focused on. But then at the end of it all, like everything I've acquired, it's still being on the farm. You understand? So I would say farming is, sorry, if I'm right, I stand to be corrected, to be the major determinant of most things in Nigeria, so to speak.
So far, the rising cost of farmland has been mentioned as a major factor limiting the country's agribusiness and food security. What's your take on this? You can also include your experience as a farmer.
As a student, you're encouraging me to actually come, no matter how available you make some facilities available, the input, the machinery. But talking about land, you want me to have a land or own a land or lease a land, at least from the course I have, 30,000 per hectare, and we're trying to encourage students, encourage people that have not been in the business to actually come in. You understand? So if government can make land affordable, subsidized, do you get it? In mass, not just in major portion. Do you understand? So I think that can really do a great margin in more people coming into agri. Because talking about fiscal cash, not everyone has it, but they are interested. I'm telling you, from our as a farmer, we also go out as okay. Let me use the word educated farmer. We also go out to try to speak to people. Let's form a group. Let's have a group of farmers, and when we're talking about people that have been existing in farming, let's bring fresh people on board. You get? So the concern is land. Even if you tell them, don't worry, okay, fine. The cost of whatsoever, I'll put it in. The cost of this, I'll put it in. I'll do harvest. I'll take my distance. Do you understand? But then they're still concerned about the land. So land is one of the major factors to actually look into. If there are lands by government and either subsidized or given free, I think that would do a lot in that sector in Nigeria.
Now, what is required? What do you think is required to strengthen the agricultural sector in the country?
This question, I've come across it severally. And I will tell you, it is an endless option. There are lots, but I'd love to pick maybe 3, 4, 5 to talk about. So the first one I'll talk about transportation, which we all know. Transportation is the number one this thing. When I'm as a farmer, when I'm rent out sure at the end of my harvest, then I have, you know, I can probably ship or move my stuff from the farm probably to the end users or to the intermediary at a very reduced and cheap price. Then I'm fine. Then I'm not bothered about the market. But then talking about is what I should move for probably let's say 1,000 naira, and I'm moving it for let's say like 20,000 naira. So what price do I give at the market? So what price does it go to the end users? You understand? Transportation is one, and secondly, another thing is irrigation facility. So imagine as a farmer, I'm still very young, like I said 4 years, and I'm still working on my irrigation business. Because in that manner, I'm only able to plant maize just once a year. You understand? So imagine I have my own irrigation facilities available on the farm, so I can do maize all around the year. You get that now? So and thirdly, I'll talk about provision for tools and equipment. Like when we had our basic education, we were told in math they would tell us 10 man did this for 1 hour. How many work hours will it take 100 man to do it? You understand? So now imagine we're not talking about 100 man. Then we have a machine that can do the work of 1,000 men. So what's the effect on that on wherever you have? If I have probably 30 hectares and have 100 man to finish in just 30 days, and I have a machine that can do it in a day. So that's the availability of tools and instruments. That is it. Are you getting my point? So then let me talk about soil improvement. As a matter of fact, not all farmers can afford fertilizer. So Mr. A as a farmer, I have probably a certain hectare of land to actually farm. And normally, if it knows, I should have a yield of nothing less than 5 tons per hectare. Because I could not afford fertilizer, I don't care. Let me just do what I want to do. At the end of it, I'm having 2 tons. So the effect on that on the end user, probably the consumer. So I should have fed people with 5 tons of on an hectare. But because I don't have the power, I'm just feeding them with just 2 tons per hectare. So what I should have covered is limited. That is Mr. A. So goes to Mr. B, Mr. C, and Mr. D. You get it? And lastly, I said there are lots that we start talking about it. You might have the audio on this interview. So I'll talk about, okay, let me use agriculture education. And this goes to government. Talking about agriculture education, as simply as it sounds, it's very, very important. People are not aware of what to do and what not to do. They just want to plant and have have an harvest. It's not rocket science. As I'm talking to you, I see farmers that are planting. They plant and they are not even aware of using what they call. Let me take this for an instance. They don't care about fertilizer, they don't care about NPK, they don't care about urea. They just want to plant and just harvest. So if they are pre-informed, if they are educated, this is what it is. You have to put in this, and this to have this. It's not rocket science. In agric, fine, it's a natural something. Just put it there. When it comes, we have it. But then there are things to be done to have maximum yield, proper yield. So agriculture education is very, very important. Very, very important. Seminar, get it across to people, organize training for farmers, teach them how to use small tools. Imagine, I'm telling you, we still have farmers that weed with cutlass. And I'm talking about large volume of land, whereby an herbicide can just do that for me. Do you understand? But by let me use the word by media, TV, whatsoever, we believe all farmers knows about herbicide, but that's not right. In my own territory, the Tesla local governments, the farmers there, some are, but not all. But a lot of people that are not are more than people that are. Do you understand? So I will stop at that.
From all you have said, what do you think can be done for agribusiness in the country? How can the private sector grow in this regard?
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to sound political. Are you there? I don't want to sound political, but I will tell you, we still need government intervention in terms of subsidized price for inputs, from seed to herbicide to fertilizers to the machinery we use. So that's it. When we have that in place, government intervention can actually help private sector to, to do well in the agribusiness, so to say.
So agricultural activities in the north are threatened due to insecurity. Now almost all displaced farmers are now in IDP camps, and this is one of the causes of food insecurity and rising cost of food items in the country. How do you think that the federal government is doing enough to address this problem?
I believe we're Nigerian, so we all listen to me at a later time, and we know what they are saying about security, what they done, the trillions they pumped in. But then I would say in our surroundings, I would say the effect. Kidnapping don't stop. I'm encouraging youth to come and farm. You get it? But then they are scared of being kidnapped. It's not as if I have like Yoruba would say, I don't have two lives. But then if I don't, I would like to say the coming generation I did. So there's Yoruba called I see anybody farming now, either youth or whatever age range, they are doing Ishepakipakun like Yoruba would say, because nobody has that guarantee security for farming. But then if you are talking about the north, don't just this question should not be centralized to the north, but we should say Nigeria generally. Security is not there, and that's why I said over the media they are trying, the billions are coming in, are pumping into security. But then are we saying it? They're not. So that's it.
Finally, in your opinion, what are the roles of the public and private sectors to developing agriculture in Nigeria?
I don't want to use the word one is stronger than one, because as a matter of fact, the public sector should make life easy for the private sector. If I'm right, and I have excited for that, you know why I gave that definition in the first place. Public sector make life easy for citizens, provide social welfare, education, other social amenities. So as a public sector, if I want to do this and I need intervention, I need funds. So then I need intervention from government, funds, subsidy price to all items, talking about food, talking about implements, talking about machinery. So if all those aforementioned are in place, then surely we have a maximum yield and more production at the end of it, and it's contribution to the national. Let me use harvest at the end of it.
All right, then, Shofumade Morufade, agro entrepreneur, thank you very much for lending your thoughts on this topic. That's all on this episode of the program. Thank you for watching. See you next time.